The first award is the prestigious Alumni Award for Personal Achievement. This award honors individuals who've achieved notable personal success in their endeavors by demonstrating resilience and determination. This year's winner, Erin Bradley, encompasses this brilliantly. Erin, class of 1990, is a trained biologist with a Master's of Environmental Design from the University of Calgary. She's worked as an environmental consultant and has held leadership roles related to business development, business career leadership, and technical leadership at Stantec Consulting in Calgary. She's currently the Vice President of Indigenous Partnerships at Stantec and is responsible for Stantec's 11 Indigenous partnership companies across Canada. Erin is also a member of Stantec's Inclusion and Diversity Council of Canada. Wow, what a portfolio. It's my privilege to present this year's award for personal achievement to Erin Bradley.
I was saying it's rare I have to move a microphone down. Thank you, Saskia, for the lovely introduction. I couldn't be more pleased to be here today and viewing such a large and capable student body. We had a wonderful tour this morning and saw how the school has grown since I was here. I have the honor of being the oldest recipient this year, so I can bring some history that not all of your teachers and administrators may even know about. I am really honored to be selected for this award, and I want to thank the Alumni Committee for this honor. And I'm really happy to be represented among the other honorees this year, and I can't wait to hear what you have all achieved as well. Most of all, I'm excited to have a chance to come back and see how the school's grown and changed over the years. I joined WIC in the first year. It moved from an office building to an actual school building, if you can believe that. Some of you may not know that WIC started off in an office building. And I enjoyed my 6 years here among a very small and tight-knit school body because there were so few of us. We had to all be friends. There are many ways this school contributed to my success, not least of which is the strong focus on experiential education. And I heard quite a bit of that on our tour this morning. The opportunities I had to learn at WIC by doing and by exploring led me down the career path, which remains my career path, which it remains in experiential education to this day. Suffice it to say, I'm not doing now what I thought I would be doing when I graduated from high school. I think it's important for you all to know that your world of opportunity is much broader than you likely think. And there are so many careers you've not been exposed to, but that's really the fun part of growing up. I left WIC to pursue a science degree with aspirations of becoming a wildlife biologist. This took me to UBC, where I thought I might pursue a marine biology stream. I ended up completing my degree in ecology with a terrestrial focus, and then pursued my master's degree in environmental design at U of C. At that time, environmental design had an environmental sciences stream, along with architecture, urban planning, and industrial design. In this faculty, their aim was to integrate consulting experiences into the curriculum. And what I discovered there was consulting fit my personality. So I've stuck with that, and I can tell you in 20 odd years of consulting, or maybe they're 20 odd years of consulting, they're both true, I've never been bored, and I've constantly been challenged. So I stuck with environmental consulting, and I've done many different things and performed different leadership roles along the way. My current role, as you heard, is managing Stantec's 11 Indigenous partnership companies in Canada, but I also help to develop and maintain relationships with Indigenous communities and Indigenous-owned businesses across Canada that we can partner with to deliver our work. So through these partnerships, where we're the minority owner, we deliver Stantec's technical services, which can be anything from environmental assessment to water or transportation engineering to community development or climate change resiliency work. I've always been interested in Indigenous cultures, and I've sought out opportunities to work on projects located on Indigenous lands or where there's a component that includes Indigenous consultation or participation on projects. Over time, I became more involved with our partnership projects. I helped create new partnerships and then took on responsibility for Western Canada before taking on the national role in 2018. It is my absolute privilege to have the opportunity to travel to some of our most remote areas in Canada and meet people from such rich and varied cultures. And every time I travel somewhere new and meet people from an Indigenous culture I haven't previously known, I learn all over again. Isn't this the best? I get paid to travel. I also get paid to spend time listening carefully to the wisdom that Indigenous people have imparted to me. In my work, I've met people who were born out on the land in igloos or in skin tents, who have traveled by dog sled, and who trapped alone for the winter at age 12. No parents. I've also met Indigenous leaders who are professionally accomplished and who maintain strong ties to traditional ways into the land. This isn't easy work. It's not very glamorous, and I can tell you, travel to Canada's most remote areas is not glamorous travel. I'll stay anywhere. And I am faced with difficult challenges most days. My hardest and most fulfilling times at work are when Indigenous people share their personal stories with me. Many of those stories are heartbreaking, as stories of residential school, dislocation from family and community, and the ongoing effects of intergenerational trauma are recounted to me. But these tough moments are balanced by the chance to help make a change and to keep moving the dial so Indigenous people can have the same opportunities as the rest of us. And so their ways of thinking become incorporated into how we approach everything from environmental assessment to building design in Indigenous communities or in our public spaces within our cities. The other aspects of my work are things that don't relate directly to my day-to-day job, but allow me to make a contribution in a different way. As the executive sponsor for the Women at Stantec Committee in my office, I get to be part of a process led mostly by our younger emerging leaders to raise awareness and to progress toward a corporate culture that is inclusive and equal. I've been very lucky in my career not to be stifled in what is still a male-dominated industry, but this is not everyone's experience. This has opened a door for me to be a member of Stantec's Inclusion and Diversity Council for Canada, which broadens my awareness of inclusion challenges across the board and allows me to contribute to the change that's needed. This award is titled Personal Achievement. I was selected for this award because of my work, but my personal achievement includes, perhaps to a greater extent, my family and parenting my 2 girls. This is my second full-time job. I made choices along the way that I felt were the right choices for my personal circumstances, including working part-time while my kids were young. I have a husband who shares equally in our household duties, and we have relied heavily on our family to help us with all the crazy scheduling that comes with jobs and raising families. 2 of my drivers, meal makers, and general catch-the-loose pieces people are here with us today, my mom and dad. Thank you. You will all face these choices along the way, and there's no formula for this. I was fortunate to find employers who valued my contribution as a part-time employee, and I've had amazing mentors and supporters along the way who helped clear the path for me to end up in this position. Looking back, I would say there are a few important things I can share with you. First, fundamentals are important, and you could not be in a better environment for this. You ultimately will not remember many of the facts you're memorizing, nor the formulas you're using. You will remember how to critically analyze a problem, synthesize information, and communicate effectively. And these are the most important aspects you'll bring to any job. As someone with a science degree working on technical deliverables, I can tell you without hesitation that the subject that contributed most to my success was English. So that's a shout out to Mrs. Agg and Mrs. McCoy, who are my English teachers here. Second, deliver. Deliver a high quality product on time. Don't ask for extensions and don't rely on other people to do your work. Do-overs don't exist in the real world. This isn't magic, and it's being instilled in you every day here. When you leave to go to university or your first job, believe me, this will set you apart. It shouldn't, but it will. Third, continue to seek new challenges. Don't do this in a way that's designed to help you climb a corporate ladder. Do this to round out your skill set, to gain exposure to interesting work, and to broaden your network. And last, be authentic. Care about your colleagues and try to find a way to use your privilege to create solutions and make a contribution. This can be done in many ways through many types of jobs, but also through the work you'll do raising your own families and contributing to the community around you. So thank you, Wick. You gave me the tools I needed to get out there and make things happen. I know this school has changed over time, and I can only imagine that being here will give you a tremendous advantage. So don't worry if you don't have your next steps planned out. Focus on the fundamentals and being a good person, and see what the world has in store for you.